Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tanya Douglas. Thanks for joining me. Today I will be showing you how to create a really defined but yet easy and not time consuming wash and go. My hair is wash and go and I did it yesterday, so this is day 2 wash and go. I'm going to show you how to do this on 2 different heads. I didn't record mine, but I want to come and kind of give you guys some tips that I've learned. Because if you know me, you know I'm new to the natural hair community. And yeah, but I'm not new to hair. So like, I'm really good with hair. Anybody who knows me would say, yes, she loves hair. So once I start to learn something, I want to make sure that I learn it the best, possible way to do things. So one thing that I learned about wash and goes, my first wash and go was hell. It took forever. It did not come out as defined as this, and I think I was just doing too much. So wash and goes are really quite simple, and it doesn't take a lot to get your hair to define well. So what I'm going to do while I'm talking to you guys about little tips, I'm going to make a solution, because the wash and goes that I'm about to do, I'm going to wash their hair with shampoo, then I'm going to condition their hair, and then I'm going to do the wash and go. But before I wash hair with shampoo, I like to, instead of using water to wet the hair before you put the shampoo in, I like to use conditioners to do that. So I'm going to make this conditioner, concoction on camera before I get started, so that, you'll know exactly what it is that's in my spray bottle. And it's about empty, so I'm going to go ahead and just add to it. So the first thing that I'm adding in my bottle is just regular purified water. So I'm just going to add some water in the bottle. The next thing that will be going inside the bottle is some Garnet Fruity Sleek and Shine Intensely Smooth Leave-In Conditioner. Just going to add a bit of that in there. I'm also going to use some of my Pantene Pro V Detangler. Add some detangle to this bottle. But I'm also going to use some Moisturize Me Curl and Style Milk by Lottie Body. I'm just going to add like 5 squirts of that in there. And I'm just going to add a squirt of Shea Moisture Coconut Hibiscus Curl Enhancing Smoothie. And just a little bit. Just a little squeeze. I'll go ahead, before I fill the rest up with water, we'll shake it. Mix well. And then I'll just fill the rest with water. So that's all that's in my bottle. That is my conditioning concoction that I use, and it works very well on all hair types. I mean, I just fell in love with this concoction right here. And when you're making concoction, it's just from trial and error, and you just find stuff that works well with your hair. And this seems to work well with a lot of different natural hair types. So that is ready to go. So I'm going to show you a few items that I'm going to be using, because when I do this, I'm not going to really talk. So this is the shampoo that I will be using. And when it comes to shampoos and conditioner, like, I don't say like get this brand is the best. No, I just say, shampoo is shampoo and conditioner is conditioner, and you'll find some that work good with your hair, and you'll find some that strip your hair out. So again, it's about just trying different things and seeing what your hair likes. So this is the Suave Professional Almond Shea Butter Shampoo. It's a good shampoo. It's really moisturizing, and it really doesn't strip that much. And with that, I'm going to be using the Suave Moroccan Infusion Conditioner with Argan Oil. And I'm going to use that on the kinky um, texture of my niece's hair. And I'm going to also show you it doesn't really matter about the shampoo and conditioner, because on my daughter's hair, I'm going to go in, because she does have some highlights in her bang, I'm going to go in with the Pantene Expert and Tease Color Care. And this is the shampoo. And I'm going to go in with the Pantene Expert Intense Smooth Conditioner. So that's what I will be using for my daughter's hair. As far as the wash and go, I'm going to be using Eco Style Gel. And one thing that I found out about the wash and go, like my hair, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I've been having problems getting my hair to curl, just curl, period. And I found, like, with my first wash and go, most people was like, just wet it, soak it down, wet it, 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 wet it. The kids in the water, no, like my hair would not curl that way. I found that once I washed my hair, and that regardless of how much moisture was in it, I didn't add any more water to it. Just the gel, and I didn't have to use so much gel to get my hair to curl up. Yes, I do have a finishing spray, and that's the Argan Oil Moroccan Weightless Healing Dry Oil. But I'm not going to use this until the hair is almost completely dry. And before I actually start to shampoo, I'm going to also oil the scalp with this Jamaican Mango and Lime Jamaican Black Castor Oil. And that'll be before I spray it with the conditioning water I just made and shampoo it. So basically those are just the products that I'm going to be using when I do condition the hair. As soon as I wash it, I go in with some argan oil and I put that on the hair shelf. Then I put the conditioner on, and on top of the conditioner I go in with some tea tree oil, because oils are really good and it really keeps the hair moisture. And when you're dealing with a lot of kinky hair, it tends to get really tangly. And just I found that using oils, instead of putting the oil inside of my concoction, using it straight on the hair tends to do better. I'm not going to do this until the last, but I will go ahead and show you what I'm using. This is the Amla. I'm not really sure how to say it, but it's AMLA. Legend Oil Infused Styling Treasure Temper Edge Tainer. So it's just really some edge control, and it's a new one that I've tried, that I just tried, and it's a medium hold. I'll show you. I have it on my head, and yeah, it's with the Amla oil from India. So I just tried it out. You know, I'm always trying something new, and it works really good. It doesn't leave like that really, I guess, stuck to your head look, but it's not too oily either. It's nice. So it doesn't, like, my hair hasn't reverted back or anything, so I like it. It's not too greasy, so I like it. Well, anyway, those are the products that I will be using. The technique will be using less water. And one thing that really helps your hair to be defined is you will have the urge to want to play with it while it's still wet. Don't play with it while it's still wet. Let it dry completely before you play with it. Another thing that I would say is you should do this in the daytime. Don't do it right before you're about to go to bed, because when you lay down you will smush your curls basically. So do this in the morning time, and this is the type of wash and go that will get better as it dries. So you can do it before you're about to go to work. Go to work, and by the time you come home your hair will be right. You don't have to worry about it frizzling up, and you don't have to worry about having the urge to play with it during the day because you'll be so busy. So the key is not to play with the curls while they're still wet. Don't try to separate them too much while they're still wet. Separate them after they're dry. After my curls dry, I just took my fingers and just, you know, separated it. Took some black castor oil and squished it and broke the cast molding, as well as I sprayed it with the dry healing oil to make sure that it is very shiny and not dull looking. And yeah, it works great. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the process because I don't want to talk you guys to death. But I did want to go in and give you some tips on what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and what you shouldn't be doing, which is like, I don't know, it works better for you to soak your hair down. Soak your hair down, but it's gonna take so much for it to dry and you're gonna feel the need to use a blow dryer. My hair is actually air dry all the way, no heat at all. So, and the girl's hair that I'm about to do will be air dried all the way, which is why I'm doing it so early today. They can go play and do everything while their hair air dries instead of having to put the heat onto the hair, as well as doing it right before bed and making it kind of smush and out of shape. So those are some really good tips on your wash and goes. Do them in the daytime and let it air dry, and don't play with it. Like, even if it's not in the, you know, style that you want to wear it in, just still let it completely air dry before you go to playing with it. Because once it's air dry, no matter what you play with, like the frizz don't really come back. Because the thing is, when you put the gel on the hair, if you already see that your hair is poofy and frizzy, then that's the way it's going to dry. So the tip is, it's not really in the water, it's really in going ahead and getting your hair to be smooth, you know, before it dries. So if it's already frizzy, it's going to dry that way. So you want to use the gel, you want to smooth it out over and over. You know, you want to make sure that the curls are popping before it dries, because if it dries and let's say you put it there and it's already like poofy right here and then really curly defined right here, that's how it's going to dry. And that's what I found out, you know, since I've been doing my research and trying these wash and goes out. So if you'd like to see what I do, how I do it, after all this talking, keep watching. And thanks to my subscribers and all you new subscribers that are watching now. Thank you. I love you. Be sure, if you haven't, to hit the subscribe button. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the video. Bye. So we're going to start with just oiling the scalp before we shampoo the hair. And after we oil the scalp, I just, you know, basically just shampoo it. The oil, make sure that the shampoo doesn't, you know, strip this scalp too much of oils and make it too dry. But yeah, going in with the concoction, that also helps the shampoo not to strip the hair as well, you know, because shampoo can be very drying. Even though I'm using a lot of alcohol-free products, it can still be very drying. So I like to make sure that the hair is very moistured before I even start to put soap on it. And then I'll go straight in with the shampoo and make sure that I really apply it to the scalp area and work it in really good and work its way all the way to the roots. I mean the ends, from the roots to the ends of the hair. And basically that is all. I don't let it sit too long because I don't want it to be so dry. And after I wash the shampoo out, I make sure that I add some oils back to the hair even before I do put the conditioner on it. And then I add the conditioner, and that way the hair will be, you know, conditioned, you know, really nicely. And after I add the conditioner, I'll be sure to seal in that conditioner with more oil, but I make sure that I work that conditioner all the way through. I'm using a lot of conditioner. I'm not just, you know, using a little conditioner. I'm using an ample amount of conditioner generously. And after that, I will let her sit with a shower cap on for about the next 30 minutes. And I do repeat the same process with my daughter's hair. And as you can see, she has a different texture. My niece has a kinky texture. This is actually an old twist out. It's about maybe 3 to 4 days old. It was a twist out, a flat twist. Yeah, so it's time to wash her hair as well. I only wash with shampoo maybe, every other week. I don't do the shampooing every week, but I do like to co-wash a lot because it keeps the hair very manageable. Most people would think that washing your hair would make it unmanageable, but when you co-wash your hair a lot, it makes it easier to manage. So yeah, I just repeated the same process with her hair. Nothing different, except for the shampoo, that I'm using, but the same method.
Anytime where we go quarrel. If you touch me, I go touch you. Kiss me, I go kiss you. Boys, them hate them, call me bolo. I'm your igwe, you're my lolo. Them other girls be wishing they be like you. My lolo get it, my love slow. Sumo mi jekajo, jamu kulu, jamu kulu. My lolo get it, my love slow. Sumo mi jekajo, jamu kulu, jamu kulu.
So I repeated the same process for conditioning the hair, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm conditioning her hair. Since it's a repeated step, I did just edit most of it out. But basically, what I want you guys to see is I am doing a flat twist going back, and as I'm flat twisting it back, I am detangling the ends. That way that the ends will be detangled, because the hair can get very tangly after a shampooing. So using the conditioner, after I put, again, a good ample generous amount of conditioner on the hair and work it through, I detangled the ends, but I just kind of edit most of that part out because it's repetitive, and it's just to save time on the video. I didn't want to just waste a lot of time doing that, so I let her sit with that cap on, and her hair is quite longer, so she sat with the cap on for about 45 minutes. Yeah, so moving on to my niece's hair. So basically with the kinky hair and with my texture hair, well, basically with this whole method, the thing is getting the gel on, because once you put the gel on, you can go ahead and detangle it, but as far as the curls, wait for the gel to get just a little bit tacky. So you'll see me going through, adding all the gel and making sure that the hair is detangled, but I'm not really defining the curls just yet. I just go through with my dimming brush and my fingers and just go through and put the gel on the hair. When the gel is first on the hair, it seems to be a bit wet, and that's why I was saying, like, with the water, it's like a little bit too wet to really get a good nice curl. So as the gel begins to sit and I'm moving on to the next side, and I'll go ahead and do a little bit of styling, I will go back in the end and define the curls, because by that time the curls will have been a little bit tacky enough for me to twist and rake my fingers through to get a great definition. So what I mean by don't play with the curls too much is not at this process, at this time in the process. It's actually when you're finished with this part and you're about to go and it's time to start letting it dry. That's when you don't want to touch the curls anymore. But right now I like to go ahead and start with the gel and then let it sit for a second, let it kind of get a little bit of tackiness to it, and then I move ahead with the curling process stage, where if I see any fluffiness or frizziness, I will go back through and start to curl. I like to have the natural curl first pop up, And then after that, if I see the curl is not really curling, or is there an area that's not really curling, I go through and define that piece, you know, piece by piece. It makes it quite quicker, and it makes you have to use less gel and less water. So, okay, just now I'm about to style her hair, so you can go ahead and just finish washing this.
You got me in the mood. Now your button, they make me feel good. Yeah. Itty bitty body day. Now your love I wanna feel every day. Itty bitty body day. Now your body I want touch every day. Yeah. Itty bitty body day. I dey thank God say you come my way. Itty bitty body day. Now your face I wanna see every day. Yeah. Baby, I am for real. For your loving girl, I am for real, yeah. I hope say you know the deal. Oh my baby, baby, I am for real, yeah. Oh baby, I am for real. For your loving girl, I am for real, yeah. I hope say you know the deal. Oh my baby, baby, I am for real, yeah. I promise you good loving. I go be Batman and you go be Robin. Hey, hey. Every day we be ballin'. None of these
about, as now you can see, this is her natural curl pattern. And somehow I lost the clip there, but at that point I just started to twist where it was a bit fluffier and just define whatever I felt like needed more defining to it. But basically that is the tacky stage where I like to go ahead and start to twist the hair. So basically we're moving on to style number 2, and this is going to be a half up, half down style, and still a wash and go. So just starting in the back, I'm just adding the gel and detangling it, and basically I'm doing the same thing. I'm adding, you know, the gel and just detangling it, but I'm not really worried about trying to define the curls at this moment, because when you first add the gel to the wet hair, it's a bit weighed down, or I guess you can say. So when it reached the tacky stage is when I go through and actually make sure that the curls are defined to where I like it. So yeah, basically that's all it is to it. I just make sure that the hair is definitely saturated with the gel, and because it's still kind of wet and it has the oils in it, it doesn't take a lot of gel to do that. So basically, as long as you have you have the gel and it's smooth, and you want the natural curls to pop first, and that way you don't waste a lot of time trying to curl up hair that doesn't need curling. So the dimming brush is really good for that. Yeah, because it really brings out a really great curl. So once it gets tacky, you can about see where it's frizzy and where it needs to have a little bit more defining to the curl, and that's where you would go in and just define that curl, and you will really get to see a better view of what I'm saying when I get to the front of the head, when I get to the bang area, which is just about to come up next. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you watch this piece, and when I get to the bang area, I will come back and tell you a little bit.
Girl, I know you love me, girl, I know you do. Stop for the front, you know they use me catch you cruise. My love no get it, my love slow. Sumo mi jekajo, jamu kulu, jamu kulu. My love no get it, my love slow. Sumo mi jekajo, jamu kulu, jamu kulu. Monica mukulu, jamu kulu, jamu kulu. I've been crushing on you lately, and I know fit let you go, cause I got to let you know the way you do the things you do me got me screaming ooh, we always knew this happened to me. I feel like Shank and you're my Julie. Open your door, love me, jeje. Oh, then he better me plus you, see we would get there. I'll show you love and I'll show you care, but it's okay. I like it when you go mole me, you live farabale, my coach.
Okay, now that we're in the bang area, I just raked the gel straight through the bang, went ahead and saturated it with, some gel. Not too much where the gel is just turning super white, but enough to get the hair wet because the hair is already damp from, the wash, so it doesn't take a lot. So basically I just go straight through, separate some of the curls, but not really trying to define them just yet. Just going ahead and seeing where, her curls are naturally going to fall. And then I'll go back through and just give it a little twist to start the curling process to speed it up a little bit. But not really trying to just define it too much because it's going to sit for a second. And as it's sitting, it's going to get a little tacky. And as it gets tacky, I will go through and really find out like where it's fluffy. You can already see where it's fluffy at, and start to, give those pieces a few more twirls around two of my fingers to give it a bit of, less frizz. So I'm letting that sit, but I will be back. I just have to let it get a bit tacky before I can really, define those curls the way that I want to. So I will move ahead to the ponytail area, which is still just adding all the gel in, and now I'm detangling it so that the natural curl can come out. And of course I had to open up the ponytail so that it can, it's hard to do it when you have like a whole lot of hair in one hand, so you have to go piece by piece basically. So I just opened it up and start to let the natural curl fall, and help it out a little bit, detangle it more, use the dimming brush. The dimming brush is a great tool. I haven't found that it pulls out any hair, maybe because I detangle before I use the dimming brush, and I'm not just with my big comb, and then I use the dimming brush to, actually help with the curling. So I haven't found that the dimming brush pulls out hair, but I heard some people, like my friend, told me that it pulls her hair out. But I haven't had that experience with using the dimming brush in my or the girl's hair. But maybe it is because I might detangle it first. Okay, so now that everything is starting to look nice, I'm going to let that sit for a while and move back around to the bang area, which should be now tacky enough to help the curls stay. Once I twist it around my finger, it's not going to untwist like it would if it was super wet. So now I'm just defining the curls on where I see need be, and then I move back around to the back, which now has set for a second and has gotten a little bit tacky. And now I will define everywhere that I see is fluffy, and I was showing you like this how you want it to be, and you see right there this is not. So just get a little twist, and you want it to be, to your liking right now. So this is where you get the hair to the liking desired curl pattern that you want. If you see frizz, it's going to dry like that, so you don't want to see any frizz. Of course, I like to have it a little bit big, so I didn't just take out every piece of frizz because of the type of style that she's wearing. And yeah, this is her, my niece with the kinky curly hair. She's getting, now it's dry, she's getting the oil sprayed on it so that it will stay nice and shiny and, break the gel mold casting from the gel. So yeah, now you can see how I was saying that I went back through and gave it a few twirls here and there. I don't know what happened to that part of the video, but afterward I did, and this was the finished results for her hair. And coming up on the finished results for my daughter's hair, and this was how her hair looked. I haven't played with it because it's still the first day, so I didn't want to pull the curls down. Just said we'll do that tomorrow. But yeah, basically that was the finished result right then. That will, after it dried, it was about maybe 90% dry right there. So I didn't want to really just pull at it and anything till it's like completely dry. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Have a great day.